Hello interwebs and welcome to my channel. I am Jesse Gender and I'm here to talk about the recent controversy revolving around Victoria's Secret and one of their execs basically saying that they don't want to include transgender people in the Victoria's Secret fashion show or as one of their models. I don't want to talk too much about like the response pieces to Victoria's Secret and to Ed Razkin, I don't even know how to say his name's comments. Because that's been done to death, and I'm sure many people will say it better and faster than I can. But to give a brief overview of what happened, one of the Victoria's Secret execs, Ed Razkin, basically stated that transgender people, or as he put it, transsexuals, which is an outdated term, but maybe he didn't know, so we'll give him a pass, I guess, on that particular issue. At least I will, for the sakes of this, because that's a whole other path of discussion. But essentially what he did was he said, so it's like, why don't you do 50? Why don't you do 60? He's talking about like older models. Why don't you do 24? It's like, why doesn't your show do this? Shouldn't you have transsexuals in the show? No, I don't think we should. Well, why not? Because the show is a fantasy. It's a 42 entertainment special. So, and if you read the rest of his remarks, there's talking about like these models are at the height of their profession. I can just see this guy standing in like a black turtleneck, like up to here, basically going like, these are models, they are at the peak of their profession. Sorry, French people, that's the voice of the pretentious people in my mind. So, sorry, no offense to the French, maybe a little bit of offense to the French, sorry. But yeah, I just see this guy being a giant pretentious douche nozzle, which is kind of what you would expect in the model world, unfortunately. So, like I said, I don't want to add too much to the hot takes and people discussing it in terms of like why this is a bad idea. Of course it's a bad idea. Transgender people deserve to be in Victoria's Secret because, we are people too, number one. And if you're like, we don't do inclusion for inclusion's sake, it's a bad thing. You shouldn't just try to include people just because you should. It's a fantasy. We want to have fantasy. We want to get these peak perfect models. Well, it's like we deserve to be part of fantasy. Why does fantasy have to be reserved for these, perfect skin, perfectly looking people? Perfect. We can create a new version of fantasy. Our world has created this idealized vision of beauty and all this jazz. What I do want to talk about is the role Victoria's Secret played in my life as a trans person, and what it meant to me, and why hearing those remarks actually did really hurt me. When I was growing up, I, obviously was learning that I was transgender and was very scared to come out. And I always kind of wanted to look at women online, not in some sort of sexually pervy way, but to look at what I could be, to look at what I wanted to be, to look at what I wanted to have my fantasy, as it were. And I would always go on to Victoria's Secret. The reason being is that way, if you look on Victoria's Secret, I was seen as a young boy by my mom. And so instead of looking up transgender or transsexual at the time into the search field, then my mom might find it on my search history, things like that, I would be found on Victoria's Secret if she looked on those things. She'd be like, oh, young boy, looking at Victoria's Secret, he's probably wanting to, do what young boys do and leer at women. And in a way, I guess I was looking at women and leering at them, but in the sense that like I would look at them with such sadness. I would look at all the different clothing that they got to wear and look at all the catalogs and be like, I wish I could wear that. I wish I could look like that. I wish I could be that. And every time I went on Victoria's Secret, I felt sad and lonely and feeling like I could never look like these women. I could never be one of these women. Not even just in looks, but I could never be a woman. I could never get the chance to be here, to do this, to even wear the clothing that they're wearing. I would never get that chance. Fast forward a few years, I come out as transgender, do all that stuff. And I asked one of my friends to take me to Victoria's Secret. I had just started hormones. I was just getting these puppies, these boobs. And so I asked her to take me to Victoria's Secret to get a bra. And I have to say, it was terrifying, it was scary. I got measured for a bra. I didn't know what I was doing there. I didn't know what cup size I was. I didn't know anything. I felt weird, embarrassed, and gross. And then I actually got my first bra, which I still have today. And it was a Victoria's Secret bra. And I thought back to all those nights, sneaking up on the computer and looking at Victoria's Secret and realizing I now, as part of my everyday, get to wear the thing that I thought I never would. That I get to be, even in part of the thing, be the person that I never thought I would be. And so, yes, I wasn't a perfect model. Yes, I wasn't amazing, but I got to wear Victoria's Secret clothing. Now, the reason this is all important and why it ties back into, the comments that the Victoria's Secret exec made is that if back then I went online and there was a transgender person in Victoria's Secret models, didn't even have to be, could still be skinny and blah, 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 the perfect looking person, which I still disagree with, but let's say that there was just a transgender model that still fit that sort of stereotypical beauty norm that we hold in our society, of which there are many trans women that are and are gorgeous, like drop dead gorgeous. Just seeing that would have changed my life. To know that there was a trans woman there that could be that, maybe it would have given me the courage to come out a little bit sooner. To see myself up there and be like, maybe, just maybe I can attain this. Instead of feeling all the shame and fear and hatred, and even up until the very moment where I was buying the bra, I felt that. I even felt it a little bit afterwards. That would have, if not existed, at least have been tempered somewhat. So to say that we don't get to be a part of this fantasy, to say that we don't get to be a part of Victoria's Secret, whatever her secret is, I'm assuming it's boobs, to say that we don't get to be a part of that is just incredibly saddening to me. Because I know that there's probably a trans person out there who is searching Victoria's Secret just to see who they could possibly be, to see their dreams put onto real life, to see their fantasy in here made reality. Not Victoria's Secret exec's fantasy, but their fantasy. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. I know it was a bit rambly. I didn't have a script for it, but I did want to respond to this current news cycle before it was over, because Victoria's Secret has played such a huge role in my transgender development. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please, if you liked this video and want to see other more transgender or queer nerdy content, please give a subscribe to my channel and hit the bell if you want to be notified of new videos. And as always, I'll see you on my next video, which comes out every other Thursday. I believe that video, this is just a one-off video, so there'll be another video tomorrow. So please check out that video if you like this one. And thanks for watching.